When you see stuff like this, it really lets you know that the ending of One Piece is quickly approaching. This is our true first look at the absolute strength, the power that Emu, or the pretty much the ruler of the world, has at their disposal. When you see this whole island just get absolutely annihilated, it's a dark moment. It's horrific because it's like this island that had any form of transgressions against the world government, they slightly turned against them. The overall objective that the higher ups did, the Gorosei and all of them decided to do was, well, that island no longer existed. And you just see this whole segment of just these beams of energy, this light, appear out of the sky. And while all this is going on, you just see the entirety of the landscape just getting completely destroyed here. And it's like complete bombardment. And anyone watching this scene for the first time, not really thinking too much about it, they're going to be shocked, obviously. But they're going to think, once this is all said and done, once the bombardment is done, the island is still going to be there. But when the actual segment happens and you see this overview and you see just a giant whirlpool and there's just no bottom. You don't see a bottom. You just see what was once an island is just no longer there, and water is trying to fill in the hole after just a complete obliteration of the island. It shows the scale of power and why the world government has managed to hold on to that power for all those years, for hundreds of years within the One Piece story. And I've been waiting to see this scene finally animated. So many people, honestly, have been waiting to see this scene animated ever since we saw it for the first time in the manga, which led to a lot of speculation, fan theories. I'll talk all about that in a second. But, like, when you see this, it's like, we have seen the scale of what, like, Kaido is capable of, Whitebeard is capable of, Big Mom, etc. You get the point. We know how strong they are, and we know how strong admirals are, but when you actually see this, it makes you wonder what just happened. What was used here? Was this a devil fruit ability? Did Emu, the ruler of the world, pretty much use a devil fruit ability and annihilate this island? Why haven't they used this ability more? You know, why is it this is the only time they used it? Did they finally manage to achieve something and this is why they're able to do it? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things you wonder about from this, but regardless, this power is a demonstration of strength, absolute power, to where if you try to rise up against them, they'll just make sure you no longer existed. The very setup to this scene is pretty much the government saying, like, we could do something like this just so blatantly, it's so out in the open, and there's just nothing you can do to stop us. And if you dare talk about this island, you're gone too. They basically say this island never existed, and give it a few hundred years, a few generations, people will wonder if the island truly ever did exist, because if there's no landmass there, it's completely gone. No traces of civilization. How could you truly say the land even ever was there to begin with? Besides, obviously, maybe books and stuff written about them or eyewitness account, nobody else would know. But if the government gets rid of those, you would never know. And this shows the process of what the world government has done within the One Piece verse. Like, anything that ever goes against their order, like the poneglyphs, etc., they do everything in their absolute power to get rid of it, to where nobody will know what they've actually done. But, yeah, this is just such an incredible scene, because it really just lays the groundwork for what the final fight, or the final fights of the story, is actually going to be like in One Piece. Because, you know, we've known, and there's been a lot of speculation for a long time now. Like, you know, the Grand Line is technically unnatural. This is a theory I've seen people talk about in the past, where, like, the different islands, to the Calm Belt, to the Red Line, it's very unnatural. Like, potentially the whole Red Line might be just, you know, built by the Celestials and Emu to kind of separate all the oceans. I've seen this theory. Obviously, this has never been confirmed, but there's a lot of things that kind of hint at stuff like that. Like, you know, the reason why the Red Line exists is just to literally separate the ocean and keep control over them, and positioning, like, their main headquarters in the center of it. It once again is a demonstration of strength and power. There's a lot to really take from it, and seeing actually islands just getting completely obliterated off the map and the landscape being changed is really one of the first few times we've really ever seen this. We've seen destruction from Whitebeard, but this really does take it to a whole new level. Now, stopping that for a second, we finally do get a really good glimpse at who the villain actually is. And I absolutely love the eye shot here. Like, you know, when we have this whole little segment here and everybody's trying to figure out what's going on, and they see the sky lighting up, you have like an eye shot of Emu and all that, like, focusing in. It's so beautiful. And I remember like a week and a half ago, people were saying that the new art style shift of Egghead was going to be bad, like catastrophically bad. It looks awful. It looks like it's just a complete downgrade after the whole Wano style that we've gotten used to for the past few years. And I'm not gonna lie, I think that this art style really does fit One Piece even better than Wano. Like, okay, I'm not undermining Wano's art style. Wano's art style was great, okay? But, I mean, when you just see this softer tone and all that, it really fits the current ongoings of the story, what's going to happen in the future of this arc, and even some traces of what the art style did look like as well is still there, but there is definitely a lot more softer line work throughout this episode, and especially in the opening song. Oh my goodness, can we talk about just how good this opening is? Like, this little frame here, it's not the best segment, but I love this frame where it's like swapping through Luffy's outfits, and you see like every single outfit he's ever worn throughout the entirety of the story. It's a very nice little attention to detail, and there's a lot of effort that was put into that. Like, I feel like a lot of people are going to be looking at maybe some of the action sequences or stuff, or, you know, some other things going on in the opening, but Luffy walking towards the foreground and seeing his outfits change, the amount of detail that someone had to do for that, because they had to go back. He had to go back through all the episodes, every arc, and look at every outfit Luffy has had throughout the story, and be like, okay, we gotta draw this, and then we're gonna only have some of these outfits are just one single frame, where the average viewer is just not even gonna notice it. And, I don't know, I love attention detail, I love that type of stuff within stories. It just shows the passion and love catered to the project, and, you know, once again, One Piece really is the best it's ever been in terms of the anime, and I'm glad to see Egghead carrying on the quality that the previous, you know, arc had. Now, with all that being said, the opening song, I'm gonna be honest with you, this might be my favorite opening of One Piece. Now, this could be recency bias, obviously. It is brand new, and, you know, I've only seen it a few times. But, I mean, in just terms of direction and the way it showcases everything within the story, I truly do think that this is, at least storyboarding-wise, and just, like, the way it was kind of drawn to be, you know, done and showcase the arc, I think that it is the best opening. Now, there is a lot of spoilers within this opening as well, FYI, and I know if you're an anime only, you might not notice all of them, but yeah, there is a lot of spoilers within this opening, so I feel bad for any anime only that watched this and had, like, you know, no idea what was going to come, you know, next, and when they saw this, and they're like, oh, so that's going to happen. Now, also this, like, music at the end, oh my goodness, like, I absolutely love this too. I mean, man, the ending songs we've been getting for One Piece, I'm so glad we got endings again. I remember for so long now, for like over a decade, I believe, we didn't even have an ending song for One Piece, and then now they finally started adding them again. It's just a really weird feeling to have an ending song back for the series too, and I honestly think, you know, this is even comparable to the opening. Like, I think the ending song might be better than, you know, the opening. I don't know. It's going to take a few times for me to listen to it, but overall, the presentation of Egghead in the anime is so good. I really do think that if this continues like this, the quality and all that, oh, we are going to be seeing stuff even better than what Wano had to offer. And so, look forward to that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because there was a lot of things I was looking forward to, and I wanted to kind of state my thought process on how I feel about the art shift, since I saw a lot of people complaining about it, you know, a few weeks back when it was announced. So yeah, I think that anyone that was hating on the art style probably are silent now. But anyways, you all have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. If you enjoyed this One Piece episode, you like One Piece in general, do leave me a like. It does help me out a lot. And with that, I love you guys. Chibi out.